Yes, welcome to No Ideas Original Podcast featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Zane. What's up, y'all?
What's good? What's good?
We got a special one tonight.
Yes.
We got a special. Oh, yeah. Yo, let's not even hold back. Let's bring the brother in right now. Lyricist, legend,
super legend.
M.O.P, the zone, Billy Danze. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's up, brother? I'm good, man. I'm out here in the fight, enjoying the game, man. Just still moving. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I would like to repeat what Fame would usually do.
Just like that.
Fame puts a battery in my back every time I hear him spit, yo. I love Fame, yo. I swear I do.
I'll be trying to keep. I'm still trying to keep up with him, man. He got this. The dude is so musically inclined, like he's in tune. It's almost like he walk on the downbeat, right? He can't dance. I don't know how he's always on beat though. But as an artist, he's somebody that he's one of the only artists that I can be in the room with and get that energy from. You know what I'm saying? Like he give me that energy, and I always, I want to make him proud of me. So because of the standard he holds me to, you know what I mean, and the stat that I hold him to, especially as an artist. So that's my guy, and he give me that push and that drive. Incredible artist.
Yo, you can put M.O.P and dance in the same sentence, bro. Like, yo, to me, M.O.P make fight music. Anytime I hear M.O.P song, I get charged.
Yo, amped up, son. Crazy amped up.
Yo, so Billy Danze, let me ask you straight off the rip. When you started rapping and who inspired you to get into rap?
You know, I think my sister inspired me, and this was obviously many years before I actually started rapping professionally. It was kind of the thing to do in the neighborhood. Not like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like this to do like later for college, later for school now. That's how it is. But not like that. It was a fun thing to do. I was the youngest in the neighborhood, so my sister hooked me up with a little, rapper's name was weird. But that was kind of my beginning of hip hop. But again, it goes back to Fame. Like Fame gave that drop. He asked me to do a record with him. My head was in a total different space, and I went to do a record with him, and the record turned out to be How About Some Hardcore, my very first time in the studio. And we got a deal with the record was halfway done.
Wow.
So, yeah, I owe a lot to that dude. You know what I'm saying?
The first time you ever went to the studio to record, you recorded How About Some Hardcore?
I recorded as much of the record as I could, and we got a deal with a half-done record.
Shit.
That's how you do it.
It was a lesson. Well, you know what, too? Like I said, we got a deal with a half-done record, and that because in that time, like, the record company execs and the A&Rs really had passion for music, so they was able to hear what I couldn't even hear. I was just fascinated with hearing myself come out of a speaker with a half-done record. They saw at least a whole record or a way to hustle another, like, dude, just and with the half-done record, you know what I'm saying? So, but back then they had the passion, so that's what got us here today. You know what I mean?
How does a song How About Some Hardcore end up on a House Party 3 soundtrack?
It was funny. It was two different worlds, but we were signed to the same label, which was Select Records. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Fred Moneo over there, who gave us our first deal. He's the first that was in the industry and his position that believed in us. So, and Kid and Play was signed to the label too. So that's kind of how that happened. I had no clue, nothing about it, and it was all done. Then we went and watched the premiere, and they played the record in the joint. So I was happy about it.
And it's on Grand Theft Audio 4 on Xbox. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, they got a lot of video game footage, man. Yo, who were the top top 2 MCs you enjoy listening to right now?
Right now, you know what? I'm listening to cats from my era. Everybody. I'm always enjoying the Locks because they always got something dope. It's something always extra. Everything's dope, but then there's always something that's extra dope about the Locks, whether they're separate or together. I don't discriminate. So the kids from the younger era, I listen to maybe one of them cats. The last Drake song, I don't know. For me, I don't know if the last song, I may be, a little behind, but he got a little song where he's singing on it, which I know this is something he always does, but he got right that kind of, I feel good about. Always gonna listen to Kendrick Lamar. Gangstar just put an album out. Rest in peace to my brother Guru. I mean, they just put a new song out the other day. Bro, I'm listening to anybody that inspires me.
Right.
So not just the cats that's established, but even some cats that I'm kind of working with. I just linked up with a site called Rap Soul, like Castle but Rap Soul.
Right.
And a young man invited me to basically not battle, but form a team for a cipher and see who cipher come out. So I'm gonna utilize all the local artists that I can find in that area. Of course, I'm not just screening. I want to make sure that they're dope, and so I'm working with younger artists. I'm listening to anything that's dope, bro. It doesn't matter where you're from. How much you accomplish your business or not. Because at one time or another, nobody has no accomplishments, so you got to get to that point. So I'm listening to everybody, bro. If it's dope, I want to hear it because I need inspiration. I can't get that from whoever's on the top playlist in these big radio markets. You know what I'm saying? Or at least I don't feel like that. So I'm listening to everybody that's unseen. I get my vibe there.
And you talk about inspiration, man. You work with the likes of just about every fucking body, keeping it real. But let's talk about Gangstar in particular. How's that influence sharpened your skills as far as rhyming, being influenced by Guru and Premier?
Well, first of all, we can't separate, but separately, Guru still has one of the. I mean, when I hear his voice, like it's something about his voice, right?
Very distinct.
And I'm like, his voice is, man, his voice was so crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that motivated me.
It didn't fit how he looked. It's like he talked like that.
Right. But really, so you like to, but really, it did because even he looked different from everyone else too. He carried himself different from everyone else, so it was perfect for his voice to be different from everyone else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Premier, we already know. You know what I mean? As far as his legacy. Not just legacy, because people that don't know him and look at his legacy and be like, wow, he's really accomplished, but he really worked for his accomplishments. You know what I mean? Premier, when it's time to do a record, Premier do the record at that time. Right. So he don't go and give you a bunch of old beats that you may feel. He sit in that room with you and he craft that beat for you. Now, even though I may have destroyed 2 or 3 Jay-Z records that he, 2 or 3 turns that he gave Jay-Z, those records were purposely designed for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's that fact that they believed in us when no one else didn't. And they're the first guys that ever took us on a tour, took us around the world. And I love Premier and Guru. God bless Guru. I mean, these cats come to my house, play with my kids. You know what I mean? So it's really a family deal. And I'm happy to say that my family is accomplished, really accomplished. People look around,
Yo, Billy Danze, man, I definitely, appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. You guys doing incredible things. Always in my top 3 as far as groups of all time. Now, I'm gonna take you back real quick, right? On the chorus that y'all did, Classic joint. One of the many classic joints. It's the world's famous Rugged Never Smooth. M.O.P. on the
Move.
Thank you. Now, right? Coming from so much man, war zone basically out in Brownsville, hometown of celebrities, well-known celebrities such as Shannon Briggs, Mike Tyson, You and Little Fame, a slew of others, right? How were you able to, first question is, how were you able to still keep that passion and keep that focus to stay with the rap game and you know, get on? And then number two, where were you at when you first heard your first single on the radio?
Well, where I was when I first heard the thing, I think I was on top actually. Was still at it. The transition from our world, and our world is different from anywhere else. There's a Brownsville in Illinois that is called Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Same deal everywhere. So it was in those neighborhoods. You gotta be able to see past a dime bag of smoke, which it was hard for us to do. You know what I mean? Hard for us to get past that day. Like we just need to focus on that day and then get past. And the turn was actually hearing the record on the radio. It didn't turn financially right away, obviously. But just hearing that gave us some hope. Like shooting the video gave us some hope. You know what I mean? Nobody in our neighborhood has done anything other than crime. So the focus was to win and get our family, I would say families, but we're all one family, to get our family in a better position so they didn't have to do the things we did, our older brothers did, that our fathers did, and possibly our grandfathers did. You know what I mean? So that was the way to be focused. Like you already, like you're a, I don't mean it like this literally, but you're a professional loser. You're good at that. You're good at getting thrown in jail. You're good at not making enough money to eat. You're good at everything that says fail or failure. Try something else. It's the, you know, it's the common sense, bro. It's like, you know, if you keep doing the same thing, you can always expect the same result. So this was, you know, let's do something different and see what happens. And it was safer, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit safer, which was cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now one more quick question, right? Shout out to Hype Williams. Hype Williams did the video for How About Some Hardcore. Take us back to that transition, man, because I heard originally when Hype Williams sent y'all the video, you had to make some proper edits to make it your vision of what y'all wanted it to be, correct?
Yeah, well, really, the entire video is out there. You know, we actually look, stand here, point the camera here. Stand there, point the camera here. Stand here, point the camera there. When he sent it first, and remember, this is our very first video. When he sent us back the first edit, we liked it because we told him to stand there and point the camera here. But there was no color. But we happened to run into him in New York on Bleecker Street, and you know, asked him to get in the car, and took him back down to Brooklyn, and told him, you know, call his people and come on down. Let's shoot. So if you see the whole How About Some Hardcore video, it's all black and white, and then there's a splash of color. Wow. So the splash of color was after we bumped into him on Bleecker Street and asked him to come on back down to Brooklyn.
That video,
yeah. Well, it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It worked out pretty good.
You know, there's a couple of things about M.O.P. that I always really like. For one, I feel like you guys are you don't get the credit for how you and Fame go back and forth like every 4 bars. You don't get the credit, the ad-libs for the ad-libs. And then the other thing that stands out to me is that for y'all to make records that's so hard, y'all always had some of the best damn hooks that I've ever heard. Like, was that something that, you know, that y'all sat down and said, like, yo, lyrics got to be dope, but hooks got to be dope also. Because you know, there's people that they spit, they'll spit, but the hook will be trash. But if you think about the hooks that y'all put out, like those songs, even to today, still the hook stay in your head.
Right. Right. Well, first thing I'm gonna say, I can never correct you, brother, but I'm just gonna just give you another look at this. As far as us not getting the credit, I believe that's from people that don't know. You know what I mean? Like coming from where we come from, still being alive, traveling the world 5 times, putting all the kids through college, you know, taking care of everything that needed to be done financially. Yeah, I think we can call it above the radar. And as far as the records go, like, I think did this unconsciously, right? Just because we were kids and we were having fun with it. We create these records, like I said, unconsciously in the beginning, for performances. Because we like performing. We didn't know it at the time, but so unconsciously that kind of happened and it turned into a thing. And we always, something that we're really big on, and sort of a family slogan for myself, Tef, Fame, anybody else in my crew that actually gets in the booth. Every line should be a thick quote, whether it's the verse or the hook. But everything should get into your stomach as a listener. You know what I mean? Like I want you to feel exactly how I feel when I'm in this, or when I wrote the song. That's all I need you to do. And how I give it to you is based on that. I'm going to give you everything that I got so you can feel exactly how I feel. That's my accomplishment. You know? And so again, that's what I'm accomplished. That's that means to me that I'm giving my credit if you're listening and you feel it the way that I handed it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny you put it that way, man, because I tell you, y'all, the music that y'all made, I think everybody felt that shit. I'm talking about from Annie Up. How was it even making Annie Up with Buster and you control yourself? I don't even know how you would do that. But then even songs like Calm Down. Now the term of that song, but when you hear it, that boom.
Yeah.
That whole hook, my Lord. Now, I'm on the East Coast, and you talked about traveling abroad. Yo, how do your fans receive you abroad versus in the States?
They got, and we're talking about my fans. My fans are the same around the world.
Nice.
Music fans are different. You know what I'm saying? My fans are still my fans. So I get the same passion in Georgia that I'll get in Jordan. You know what I mean? Like I get that same welcome. It's funny that you would bring up the Calm Down because I didn't realize that record was so big. People love that record. I didn't know. For years we didn't perform it until one day we decided to just
throw it in there,
change the set list, and we threw it in the set and we performed it. We was in Paris, and you could see Mos Def was getting on after. You could see Mos Def almost like running through the crowd, like that's my shit. And as I'm seeing him, almost forgot the words, right? So I'm like, oh shit, people like this record. So when it comes on now, I'm always gonna be proud to perform anything that we made, but this one because it snuck up on me.
Yeah,
that it was a good record. I'm really proud of it, and that's another moment that I have like accomplishment. You know what I mean?
There's a bunch of hidden gems in all of your albums, man, and that's why I'm like, yo, why does nobody listen to albums? Not that anybody even makes good albums anymore with some great music, but I love listening to y'all's music of the past. A lot of y'all artists, and I'm glad that when you mentioned the MCs that you're listening to, you still listen to people in your era. Because I still listen to Sadat X. Sadat X put a damn album out almost every other month. You know what I'm saying? And there's Tragedy. Yeah, it's so many of the 90 artists that's still making music. Y'all are like the Motown for me. Y'all are like these old niggas in their 70s still making great music. I swear to you, man.
Quality shit.
Yo, I love every minute of it. Taking nothing away from the new cats, but as long as y'all brothers from the 90s still making music, got me, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man. Did you guys get a chance to so for the last 2 years, I've been like put out
solo
joints. Yeah, I put out the 6-pack, and then like 8 months later, I put out a big dozen, and then last year on my birthday, on November 15th, I put out something called Listening Session. So it's just different sides of me, because people don't know me as, they know me as a part of M.O.P, and I'm always going to be a part of M.O.P. Like, there's nothing I could do about it if I wanted to. But just to show people different sides, so that's why I created all these things from a solo point of view. And then it's really like, it's, even though it's me all on the record, it's not solo, because Fame don't like the record. I can't use it. So I got to, again, same in the beginning, like the beginning of the conversation, I have to press them every time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Tell us now, being that you have out, the listening session and the other projects. As far as with listening session, tell us about some of the production and features that are on there for the listeners out there.
So let me just give you. Obviously, it's self-explanatory, right? It's the listening session designed for you to listen. This is why there's not an Annie up on there.
Right.
It's designed for you to listen. And it was inspired by me being trolled a few years back, but I don't know if it was male, female, young, or old, but it was on Twitter, and they kept saying, you can't rap, whack. Listen to your joints for your whole career. Your bars ain't up, Paul. So I took that negative energy and I used it as a positive, and I created the listening session. I did with and it's aimed directly at that person. Like, I need you to know, at the very least, I can rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I hooked up with my guy, whose name's Jizzy. He's from Switzerland. Younger cat, but he had this passion for these soulful beats and, strong hip hop presence in his production, like traditional hip hop. And when he sent me these beats, I just started listening to them. They made me want to listen. So again, fall right into pocket with the listening session. Every beat was dope, in my opinion. Or not, my opinion don't even matter when it comes to me putting the music out there. The opinion of my peers and fans, this is the best record that I've put together.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got a joint on there with Method Man.
Got them.
And that the beat made the beat. I'm like, this feels like a superhero is on the way. So I wrote like the beginning bars of my verses, like, let's make us a superhero. Drape him in the trench, Timberland on his feet, 16 in his wrench, customize his Cadillac with presidential tints and the button that he can put with Kush come through the vent, right? That the whole song happened from that first bar, that first 2 bars right there. I was like, nice. So I just writing, and I felt like, so what I did in the verse is I built a superhero, which is me, out of every one of my friends, Fame, Fox, Flip, Lays, Rocco, boom. So that's how I built a superhero, and I didn't even have the hook, but listen to the hook. The hook is 12 bars. I literally sat there and listened to shit and go, put that there. I don't know nothing about Marvel or comics or none of that shit. I'm put that there. Put that there. Around building for 12 bars, which is way over, but it's music. There's no actual structure. And then I thought about it. The superhero in hip-hop music, to me, is Method Man. Everywhere I see him around the world, he's a superhero, bruh. And he's the same dude that I met when we were 20 years old and had not a dime. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's crazy because as I thought about him on the record, I thought about the time where I'm walking down, I'm coming from somewhere, walking down 34th Street. He hops out the sunroof of a limousine like he just seen his favorite cousin that he hasn't seen in a year or so. We kicked it. At that moment, we see the original Wonder Woman walking down the block. I see this playing in my head as I'm going. Real quick, I swear to God, Linda Carter walks right down the block, walks right past her. You know, math, especially a young man. Oh shit, that's the Wonder Woman. So all that's playing in my head as I'm writing this record. He was perfect for the record.
Wow, that's crazy.
Also, we have Havoc on the joint, One to Grow, which for me is a really important record. I love that there's no drums in it. It gives me that passion to rap the way I rap. And I needed Havoc going. Why let a verse? I didn't want him to do a verse. I just wanted them to do the ad-libs. To me, it feels amazing. What that means to me is amazing. So people don't know that M.O.P, the first artist we ever met in the music industry was M.O.P. So this is before anybody had any footing, either one of us had any footing. So I feel not that I owe him anything, but I feel like direct connection to him, and Havoc is still backing me up after almost 30 years in the music game. So that's what it means to me. Of course, I got Fame on there. I got a joint with Daz from Dog Pound. I got a joint with Cormega, which I really love. If you know anything about Cormega, his reputation is not tainted anywhere. Not in the street, not in the business, not in college, right? Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So he's an honorable dude. So that's why that was a great record for him to be on. And I got a song with my son, which I'm really proud of. It's called Damn, and I liked it with my son moving on the beat. The beat that I needed, you know, I'm saying we got all these other records. I need something that feel like this, but I don't know what to do with it. So I gave it to my son.
On Damn, who's your son? Who's your son on Damn? L Boogie?
La Boogie, yeah. Yeah,
La Boogie. Yeah. Okay.
So I like the way he danced around that beat. So,
yes, sir.
He did what he was supposed to do. You know, he's responsible for guiding that whole song, and I'm really proud of him. Yeah, I mean it's my kid, but I'm honest with him too.
Right.
If it's whack, it's whack. I don't quit it. But it's a record that blended really good with the rest of the album.
That song got a dope vibe. I like that song, man.
Yo, I never had the opportunity.
Right. Dope vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never had the opportunity to see you brothers perform in person. Please tell me, do you perform Stick to Your Guns?
No, that's the hardest record in the world to perform, dude. And we figured that shit out years ago. Oh my God.
Yo,
dude, we performed that record one time years ago. I think we performed it maybe 2 or 3 times. So, bro, you ever before? If you wasn't there those 2 times we performed it, it's over, champ. You ain't gonna see it.
I remember getting that CD, and usually when I get a CD or get an album, I'll listen to maybe like the first 30 seconds of each track, just go through it and be like, all right, and then I'll go back to the beginning and listen to it in its entirety. When I got that CD and put that joint on, and that came on, I think it was like track 3 on the Fire Squad album. I was like, yeah, I must have bought that back 5 times. I'm like, yo, M.O.P and G-Rap, like
that's legendary. Right?
Yeah, hell yeah, like yo, that's like one of my favorite joints by you too. So I guess I wasn't there. I'm gonna see it.
You done missed out, champ. I tried to call you, text you, everything. You ain't reply, bro.
Yo, from the on the first album, you worked all with DR period, but the second album, Premier, Lays, like why no DR period on the second album?
I'm sorry, bro. You were cut out a little bit. You said why DR on the second album? I think that's what you said.
Yeah. Why no DR period production for second album?
Nah, you know what? That was crazy. It wasn't no issues or anything. It's just that we were now starting around, and DR was actually moving around. So DR is like our brother, right? Way before music. DR's from right around the corner from my mother's house. and like right around the corner, and Fame could walk right across the vacant lot and get to DR door. So it was a real family thing when we brought it in, and it's still that. But at this time, like, we just wanted to bounce around and find something new, something different. And we all started working with a lot of other people too. So it's more of a move of spreading out, branching out. Yeah. Never issue though, because DR came back and literally gave us our biggest record that we've ever had till today, which is Ante Up. So yeah, that's basically what happened then. Yeah, he did the first album with exception of one song. Guns N' Roses, Silver D did that record, and DR, it's something about DR. I don't think people know this about him, but analyzing him over the years as a producer. First of all, I don't know if there's many producers that can do what DR does. Any kind of record you want, he can give you. Any kind. Gospel, hip hop, trap, R&B, rock, anything. A lot of producers can't do that, and he do it. He's so perfect, dude. He's like Fame. They can't dance, but they always got it. They right on the beat, right on the beat. So as a producer, DR may be, and I'm not talking about accomplishments, because we'll look at other cats and be like, well, his house is bigger than that, or he gets so much money. I'm talking about as a producer, all the money goes away, DR may bust everybody's ass. Mm-hmm. And that's just me being honest, because well-rounded. DR's like a production crew on his own. Not many producers like that. So shout out to DR, the whole Rock Boy crew. They got the whole label going on now. My man Fly Ty, Dunny Brown, Berry Goods, all them cats over there. So yeah, DR's my guy, man. Great producer, yo.
Yeah. We have a lot of artists come on, and I always ask them, like, what did they learn from their first project to their second project? And most of the time people say the industry, but I learned the business. But from an artistic standpoint, what did you learn from your first album to your second album?
What I learned was, really, and it's crazy because we just talked about how we started brand out and dealing with different producers and different people. Our first album, we were self-contained, and it wasn't about music, it was about us. Because we're us, and we don't deal with other people, because we don't trust other people, and we don't know other people. So what I learned from the first album and going into the second album was that everybody ain't against you. Has nothing to do with the music industry. It's just life, period. You know what I'm saying? So we come from a place like, you got to go to the corner store. You got to have it. And the corner store right there. But you just feel like you got to have it, even if you don't need it with you. So that's really what I learned, because I didn't learn the business until later on. But yeah, what I learned was everybody's not against you. You got to give people, you watch people, but you give them the benefit of the doubt, and you let them hang themselves, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really what I learned. I had nothing else. I didn't figure out how to move none of the fucking keys on the keyboard, or none of the knobs on the board, nothing. I figured nothing out, but everybody's not against me.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Relationships.
Yeah, you got to make it, man, and you got to keep good ones, man. The ones you can hold on to. For real, man.
Yep.
What's
the ones you don't
really
need to have to watch?
What's the last movie, book, or documentary you watched that you can recommend? And second question, has the music industry ever jaded you, and why?
Last movie. I don't know. I'm really not big on watching TV, but my wife, she beats me on that reality shows and all this. If you'd ask me what's the last reality show I watched, I can lay that all out for you, bro. But movies.
Aren't you working on a reality show?
Reality show and documentaries. That's what I do. So, the music business, it never really. I don't know, not personally connected to the music industry. You know what I mean? So I don't let it bother me one way or the other. Like I don't look at other artists and go, well, we started at the same time. I found out you got a couple more million than I got. You know what I mean? I don't let that bother me because, like I said, you know, coming from where I came from, one, you know what I mean, like sending the kids to school, living in a nice neighborhood. So I'm when I say rich, dude, I feel rich as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not bothered by who made more money or who got more props. I did what I needed to do in the business, and as a man, I did what I needed to do, which is raise my family and make sure they have everything that they needed. So the business don't bother me. The industry don't bother me, bro. I kid you not. I was telling my boy Lays this, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday to my boy Lays. But I was just telling him this, how nothing bothers me now. Like for the last 4 years, nothing has bothered me about this business. Normally, like my whole career, people are like, yo, we got to go do this. I'm like, fuck that, I don't want to do this. Yo, we got to do this because, man, fuck that, man, I ain't going. Yo, Boob can't go, I ain't going. Yo, nah, yo, we got to do this. This is what's going to happen. I was being, you know, a hot-headed kid. I hear that. I don't hear that. And I was always bothered. Yo, why the mics were so low, or why they cut the mic off when we got on? Why want us to go? I'm not bothered. You know what? Put me on the stage before your idol, and I'm gonna bust his ass, and then I'm gonna leave. And whoever, I'm gonna tear him to fucking pieces too. I'm not gonna even play it. You know what I mean? Just to show you that I'm not bothered by it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So when the checks come, you know what? As long as I get my fair share, I'm happy. Yo, that one got, you know, check was for $5 million. That one got 2.5. So y'all gotta butt this down, no problem. I got some money coming from somewhere else anyway. Plus the kids are good. We don't need all of that shit for no headaches, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. So the business never, at one point it did, bro, because you got to think about sitting back and watching people that you know that's not as good as you when it comes to, and I'm not talking about no fan base, no promotion, none of that. I'm talking about people that's not as good as you earn more or get more props as a person that's not level with it. That will really bother you. You know what I mean? Until you get a hold of yourself. When you get a hold of yourself, see, we got a whole big world, and everybody in this world is important to me, and everything that goes on in this world is important to me, but my world is more important. So long as I take care of the people in my world, the industry and everybody else can kiss my entire ass on both sides. You hear me, nigga? I'm cool as a fan over here.
Hey,
I'm cool as a fan over here, champ.
That's right.
Can you tell us, you know, because being that, you know, Versus is a major contribution to music overall, but especially for the hip hop industry too. Like, you know, we saw how Red and Meth did their thing the other day. Would you and Fame be open to do a Versus with, you know?
Fame probably would, but I'm not with it.
Okay.
I'm not with it. And I'll tell you why. I had this cut, and everybody keep asking me, yo, why? I ain't never told nobody, but I'm gonna tell you, right? I don't like. I mean, they go do it for the culture. Look, if you like being an artist and you like that person or that group as an artist, just listen to the records, bro. The perception that people have when it's competition is somebody gotta lose.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't want none of my brothers to be up there and lose something that they built. They took 20, 30 years to build just for what they call the culture that don't really take care of you anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, though. I tell you what, man. Like, by far, you and Fame get up on that stage, it's slim to none people going against y'all, going song for song. I mean, like, you know, you guys got Annie Up, you guys got My Kind of Nigga, you Packing Blue Steel. You guys got so many goddamn classics that just ultimately tear the club up. But I mean, I do respect what you're saying, but overall, man, I mean, two cats going against y'all, it's going to be tough.
Yo, Zane, this is the question.
That's what he said. Y'all heard him.
Who would you
Come on,
put up? Yo, Zay, who would you put up against M.O.P?
Sheesh. As far as two artists from any coast, I would say, damn man, I would say
Nobody.
They have the distinction.
no. See, another thing too is that ultimately the way I look at it, yeah, it's competition, but it's healthy competition, because at the end of the day, there really is no winner, because everybody's just coming to bring their talent, bring their love for that music. Yeah, but I would say, yeah, I mean, it's slim to none, man. I don't think nobody fucking with
it. M.O.P. and I hate using the word versus, because I get your point, Billy. Like, why would you want to? It's all together, man. If M.O.P. was up there with EPMD,
EPMD so dope, bro. Oh my God, it's so dope.
Yeah,
that's so dope.
I'll pay for that. I'll pay
so dope.
Yeah,
and
I get
performance is so dope, bro.
Yeah,
I love the big homies, man.
Yeah,
let me tell you something. The fact that EPMD would even be mentioned in this particular topic of the conversation, like, I don't know if you could imagine how that feels, like, coming from actually being their fan, right? Growing up as a kid being their fan, to you guys saying something like that, or E calling my phone 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, that is ridiculous to me, right? Or DMC in my phone one day. I'm just looking at the phone. He going, yo, it's DMC, and I'm at the phone. Like, this is, like, I wanted to be DMC. I didn't just like him as an artist. I wanted to be him. You know what I mean? So he's in my phone. So yeah, that all this shit means a lot to me, bro. All this shit means a lot to me, man. So even to be mentioned with EPMD is crazy.
And you guys are living legends, man.
And it's funny you mentioned DMC, because I was thinking of what two other tandem outside of yourself and Fame who rock like that. And you mentioned the Locks, but then I was in my mind, I'm like, EPMD, Run DMC, these guys is classics. You're aligned with classic guys. Like, there's no other group.
Crazy.
Can't. I would say another talented group duo is Ray and Ghost. Shout out to Ray and Ghost.
Ray and Ghost, absolutely.
I was about to say that. If you look at some of the verses now, like even with Red Band and Meth and Ray and Ghost, those are more complementary than competition. You know, like that's just putting on the show type shit.
Well, I think it turned into that, but at first, I remember everybody didn't understand, and it wasn't just for the culture. It was like versus. This one versus that one in the beginning. So like, to me, it's more like somebody's got to lose. It's like any war you go through, right? There's always got to be a casualty. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to lose. I want to just hear this artist and this artist and not compare them, because I'm listening to them for two different reasons anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, here's why it's very simple. Here's why some rap concerts aren't successful. Because you got 5 of the same artists. Right? So all of them have the same fans. Yeah. So how are you gonna, if one of them can't fill the room up alone, together they can't fill the room up, because they only have the same fans.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just look at things a little bit different. I see things from a different view. I don't want to compete with anybody. If anything, I don't have to compete for anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I don't do that. And sometimes, like, I'll turn the verses on, but I'll just put the phone down or something. I mean, I'll tune in. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because when I see that artist again, I want to have that same thought about him. Yeah. I don't want to be like, I realize your music is not as good as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? You got your ass bust, bro.
you make you make a good point though. Like that's what to me has come out of verses. Like verses at its core has good intentions, but if you really step back and look at it, like a lot of that shit is a popularity contest, and then you listen and you're like, damn, you don't really have 20 good songs, like 20 songs that ring off like that, you know. And then you have other situations where there are people that their music just hasn't aged well. You know, some people music just has well. Like I've seen some
and you
verses.
gotta be a fan. You gotta be a fan to like it. And when you, like you said, the music hasn't aged well. When you listen back to it, you realize that mix was whack, bro. Like that punchline wasn't a punchline, like a punchline, bro. That shit wasn't dope. Like, leave it alone, Tim.
What you said? A pinch line?
Pinch line, yeah.
You got a punchline. That wasn't a punchline. That was a pinch line, bro. Come on. Your shit's whack. So just leave it alone so you don't kill what you got. Because now, you know, your little royalty check that got smaller and shit. All because it got small. Shit was already small. Now that it got smaller, because you up here fucking around. Talking about you gonna get it going again. No, nigga, just leave it alone.
Put it down, son.
You know, like take it easy, bruh. Word. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm conscious of of most of the things that gotta happen or could affect me in any kind of way.
Your brothers had the distinction of being signed to 3 good labels. Y'all was on Loud, y'all was on Rockefeller, and y'all was on G Unit. How come we never got a Rockefeller or G Unit project from M.O.P?
Well, I mean, Rockefeller, we see what happened there. There was some things going on internally that we didn't know about. And it's over. Nothing. All right. She fucking with y'all niggas. Y'all done made me miss the store, man. But no, the Rockefeller situation. Now, so people don't know that when the rock was a pebble, I like to say, Damon J would come while we were working on the second album, actually. Damon J would come to the studio almost every day. We were in between deals. If you listen to the second album, I forget what record it is, but I said we eject from Select and now our shit is bumping Loud. So we were supposed to go to Loud. So we were in between deals, and they was coming to the
not doing a deal with them. We went with Relative. Now they had some internal problems over there. Obviously, the world knows that by now. They had some internal problems there that had nothing to do with us. It was already there. So, you know, they stopped dealing with each other, Jay and Dame. And like I said, they're coming to my session when The Rock was a pebble. So I watched them build this whole label and this business where they was making $100 million a month, right? I watched them build that. So they basically turned shit into sugar while I saw it. And then they broke apart. One of them called me after they broke apart. I went to see Dame, offered me a room full of money. I went to see Jay afterwards, offered me a room and a half full of money. My thought was, I ain't taking the money. Simply because if you could shit on somebody who helped you turn shit into sugar, what are you going to do?
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So I fell back off that one. And that don't say anything about them because I don't know their issue, whatever it was. I just know if you can be loyal to someone who helped you become who you are, and I'm not talking about either one of them, I'm talking about both of them, and anybody in kind of situation. If you can't be loyal to someone to help you become who you are, you can't be loyal to me. It's impossible.
That's right.
So, or you care about me. Because you know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of happened there. So I didn't do the deal with either one of them. G Unit, I think, I don't want to say it was something going on internally, but I think like every record label, not company, every record label has its time, its rise and its fall.
Right.
When that style of music starts to die because you're labeled for this kind of music, once that style of music starts to die, the lid goes away too. It fades out too. So I think we just didn't have enough time to create the records that were needed for us to put them out. So that's kind of what happened there. I mean, and shout out to 50 too. The whole G Unit, they was cool. I mean, you know, dude gave us the couch, you know what I'm saying, in the house that they built. I got a little too uncomfortable, so we bailed. You know what I mean? Just kind of like that. So it was never no hard feelings between us and Rockefeller or G Unit. It just didn't work out. It was more of a timing thing. You dig? If I could say that, I think that's what it was. Just the timing.
Right. Hey, talk about your memorable session you had with Big Pun when Big Pun was alive. Rest in peace, Big Pun.
Yeah, man, Pun was a fun dude, man. Great dude. Working with him was great. And I remember I didn't realize it until after he passed, because Joe said it 2 or 3 times while we were there at the funeral about how M.O.P was his favorite group. I didn't know that, but it didn't even matter because of the energy that we had together was just dope. We were getting in the studio, just hang out for a bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then get to the record, of course. But man, he was a good dude and a hell of a MC, bro.
Yes, sir.
And you know, like we pride ourselves on our performance. Our performance is supposed to be the most amazing, right? We're the amazing performers in the world. I can remember going to Washington, D.C., doing the show with Pun and Joe. Now, we know how big they both were back in the day, size-wise, right? They were big guys. And we know how Pun raps. And I'm saying, because we had this friendly competition, right? I'm saying, this is going to be a piece of cake, right? We're going to be able to kill it. I know they're going to do good, but we're going to kill it. Dude, Pun got on the stage as big as he was, and not losing any breath. I'm going, oh shit. I'm going, how is he doing this, right? Now I'm nervous as hell. Because like I said, we had a competition back then. I'm like, wow. The first time I ever seen him perform, and they slaughtered it, bro. Like, the breath control was ridiculous. Man, a friend of mine, you know, rest in peace, Big Pun. Really, really good guy, man. It was really, really sad. I was maybe a week before he passed away. We went and did last together. New York Giants joint, I think it is. And I can remember exactly where I was when I got the news. Fox called me and told me to pull the call, but she needs to talk about something. She laid that on me. But yeah, man, hats off to Pun and all the and what he brought to this industry or to the music, to our culture.
I'll tell you what, Dan, real quick. I'll tell you what, real quick. You know, as a piggyback of what you just said. First of all, rest in peace, of course, to Big Pun. Big shout out to Fat Joe. But bro, all 3 of y'all, if y'all look at that video, Fat Joe and Pun got called twins when they going back and forth. You guys could tell that was an inspiration that came from you guys, M.O.P. The way as far as the cadence, going back and forth, trading them words. That's stuff that you and Fame do, bro.
Yeah. I never even thought about it, bro.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
I actually was looking at that video the other day, and the first thing I thought was, Fame and Fame and the game.
Man, I read an article
man. See, now that just gave me some inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I might go to them and just write a song just because I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Great, brother. Thank you, man, for that information.
No problem. Check it out. Check it out again. I'm sure you saw the video, but check it out again, bro. That cadence bam, bam, bam. It's M.O.P. all day, bro.
Yeah. I'm hearing it in my head right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it felt different from Dre and Snoop. Even the and that felt different from the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. So I'm calling and tell them I need to get that check, man.
Speaking of checks, they had the article come out saying that Apple Music is paying a penny per stream now. What's your opinion on streaming? Because you think about we look at that, you're like, wow, a whole penny. Before that shit was what, a third of a penny?
Yeah, maybe less than that.
We're gonna get rich now. we're gonna ball now, huh? Okay. But no,
I think you froze up.
Pay attention to it, but so I'm far away from music. I create it because you hear me, bro?
Yeah, we
Yo.
Now we hear you.
Yeah. So not that I you hear me, bro?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
Yeah.
You hear us?
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, so not that I don't. Yeah, I'm here. All right. So it's not that I don't pay attention to what's going on with streaming and all the online services and all that, but I'm just away from the music. You know what I'm saying? Like I really only make music because it's how I want to hear it.
Right.
That's why I'm making music now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, but I do think that whatever's being streaming is pretty much free, I guess, or whatever. I don't really know, but I think they should pay the artists should get what they deserve. I think, because you imagine if we actually all the artists pulled together and had the power to say, I never want my record played again. Right? All the artists. So there would be no music heard anywhere. The world would go nuts. So I understand that this business is about us. So you should take care of the engine, take care of the heart. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of the heart, blood keep pumping through.
It goes everywhere.
So if we, that's right. So, but I think, as we all know, the music business is designed so that the artist can become the star and the money goes to the company.
Right.
That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's dope now that a lot of people have figured out that we don't need those companies anymore. And they still keep their thumb on you because they have the relationships with these job-ass DJs that they've been for years. And, if they don't send, if your record is not in the pile they're sending to the radio stations, then nobody's playing it. Because most of the DJs play records that they don't even like. It's just
right.
that the station that they work for, have a relationship with that major label who has been giving them funds in whichever way, whether it's by ads, whatever it is. But they had this relationship for 30 years, 40 years, and that money's been being pumped through. However, so that's what you hear all the artists from this label. You know what I'm saying? All the artists from this label, all the artists from this label. And that's all you hear on the radio all day long, all long. It has nothing to do with how dope song is. The popularity comes with resonant beat in your head. It don't have nothing to do with, I like it, let me tell my friend about it, and I'll tell my friend about it. No, this shit's being beat in your head, that's what you like it. So, if we, again, like the industry, it's all about us. So if we did have that power to say stop playing our records all as a whole, then the people will go nuts, and then we'll have all the power. But that's just fantasy shit, right? That ain't about to happen. That's the we understand, if we control this about us, you know.
Sound like for the DJs, maybe you
I'm
may
here,
need
brother.
to do the Hype Williams video joint and take
Oh,
him
yeah.
for a ride. Come get in the car. You hear me?
I hear you, bro. I yeah. I mean, some of them actually deserve it. Or you should say we should have saved the spot for a lot of their asses. Now we need like a train so we can fit them all in. You know what I mean? They got a seat here.
Come on, get in the bus. Get on the bus. We're gonna fall out.
Come have a seat with me real quick, man.
Oh,
Did he go? Where did he go? You there, B?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah. I'm here, bro. I'm just trying to connect to Wi-Fi right now.
Right. Now that you're in this climate of working solo or working, by yourself, what's it like recording solo versus recording a group project? You got more freedom. You get to choose the production you want.
It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Both, but neither. But I still have to send it through the pipelines to get okay.
Right.
So if I put records together that Fox don't like or Tef think is a little then I gotta redo it. So no, there's no freedom. I'm tied to these niggas forever. These niggas run me. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be the best me.
Right.
And hope that they appreciate it. And if they appreciate it, then I'm good to go with it. You know what I mean? So they actually all not surprised. Say that again, bro.
Now I was saying this project, the listening session is you. Like I'm glad you called it that because you listen to the quality of lyrics and how you putting things together, the story format that you're putting it together. It's a good listening album. You know what I mean? It ain't about knocking your head. Even though when I hear your voice, I'm waiting for that Annie up shit. But I'm listening to this album and it made me really sit and pay attention to what's going on. And you could tell the growth and your maturity as an MC too, and as a person. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I hear a lot of that in this album, man. So kudos to you for this for this project you put together, bro.
Yo, from the outside looking at it as a fan,
but I'm still gonna give you that. I'm still gonna give you that M.O.P.
I mean, we live for that.
So we need that.
We live for that, man. It's good though hearing you talk about your team like that, because from being an external as a fan and looking at it, it looked like everything is real close knit. So hearing you speak about it, it just confirms it that y'all got a good team. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's way before rap. Some people know that, some people don't. Like, it's really way before rap. Like, we're so close, bro. Like, there was like times. Well, first of all, here's the crazy thing to put on leaks, but like me and Fame been friends so long that we don't even know where we met. Like, we can't say, yo, we met on the store, we met at the park, we met at school. We can't say that because neither one of us remember. And there was times, when I say we family, like there was times where I would come home and want to go sleep where I would normally sleep in my own house. And if he's sleeping there, my mother wouldn't even let me wake him up. She would, no. Leave him alone. Go take your ass in the back somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
that's how village.
And this is way before rap, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. That's a fact.
That's right. That's right.
Tell us your I mean, you guys have an impeccable portfolio of music already, but tell us about your dream collaboration. Wanna be hip hop and wanna be R&B.
Oh shit, you said hip hop R&B?
Yeah, like yeah, one
I
yeah,
wanna
same collaboration, one from
wish.
hip hop, one from R&B.
But Jesus, R&B is crazy because that's my music. That's what I like to listen to. So you can give me anybody from any era before 2005. I will deal with any R&B. I'm talking about R&B. I'm talking about rhythm and blues, bro.
Right.
I'm not talking about
Auto tune.
shake your ass R&B. I'm talking about rhythm and blues,
right.
like when the music used to help us teenagers fall in love and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Soul music. Soul music. Right.
From exactly. So anybody from 2005 back on the R&B tip, on the rap tip, if I can get one song with G-Rap, Rakim, and Scarface on it.
Damn.
So I need one song.
I never been performing.
Yeah.
Man.
That's crazy.
Easy, yeah. Shit.
And G-Rap still throwing bars out there too, son.
Oh yeah.
That's blow the speaker.
Yeah.
That's
What
blow
about
the
as far as
speaker
R&B?
music,
What's that R&B collab right there? What you think it'll be? Tell me about that R&B collab now.
I think, you know what, bro? That would be so crazy, bro, because I like everything. Because I really like R&B music. I like everything from I would say 2005 back. So that's a hard one for me to choose because I would need the hook from Jagged Edge because I like the way you know what I mean. I like the way they do their shit. Imagine a verse from oh my god, a back and forth verse. You go further back, you get a back and forth verse from Prince and Michael Jackson kind of shit. You got 8 bars, you got 8 bars. Dude, this shit would be so fucking nuts, yo. So nuts. And I'm mad that y'all would ask me some shit like this because I can't figure out who the hell I need on the record.
Well, I tell you what, one of the closest ones I would say that made a major mark out in the 90s. I would put Mary J. Blige out there first and then go backwards.
Yeah, but you know what? And I love Mary. And I actually was gonna get Mary on the record years ago. But that's a no-brainer, right? I want to do a record with somebody that doesn't make sense, but that's amazing. So I really like R&B music. And love talk to Fame, he'll tell you he don't like driving off me. He'd be like, dude, why you playing all this fucking slow music? I like R&B music, but I like the good music, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The shit that make you feel good. The music that helped us fall in love and shit, and you know what I mean? That good shit that where they was actually singing about it. So definitely none of the new cats, not saying they're not good, but that good music, bro. So I would put anybody on the record from that era. Any of the Motown groups, any one of them.
Yeah.
Pick one. I would 3 groups from Motown. You know what I'm saying? Because they all had good music, and you could feel that shit. So the R&B for me to choose would be tough. That'd be super tough for me.
I would tell you two real quick before Shannon go on.
I'll do one song, then I'll do the remix, then I'll do the me mix, then I'll do the 3 mix.
Yo, I feel you on the Mary J point though, because Mary J is to me I love Mary J, but she an easy go-to for people. People go to Mary J. To me, one of the dopest collabs that I didn't think anybody seen coming that I really liked was rest in peace to DMX when DMX got Stephanie Mills.
I was about to say Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills and Anita Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, Stephanie
I was
Mills.
about to say Stephanie Mills too. Stephanie Mills and Anita Baker. One of
To me,
those two.
Mary J. Blige is the easy go-to though. Like everybody always try to get Mary J. Blige, but you digging
Yeah.
in the crates, get Stephanie Mills, you know, get how you call it, go back and see if you could get, like you said, an Anita Baker. You know, even them didn't Big Daddy Kane have like Patti LaBelle before?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like if you really, really going hard, you really an R&B fan, you really about that soul, and you know the records, you know the classics.
Mm-hmm.
It get tiresome though when people start using the same people over and over for hooks.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
Mariah to death.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you gotta spread the wealth, man. For real.
Let's see if Billy Danze pop back on real quick. I know he was having a little bit of trouble with his signal. But yeah,
We can switch it up. We can switch it up until he come back.
this how you call it? This is a dope discussion though. And
It is.
Yeah, I sent the message in the chat to let y'all know.
yeah,
Look at
even listening to you know, like him being candid and thinking about how he talk about like the concept of team or how he doing a solo project but still got the input from everybody from the team and being able to work collaboratively. Like I think that's dope, man.
Nah,
Yeah, it is.
and them being the artists, speaking of him and Fame, that the artists that they are, it was I seen that coming, where they might branch off and do one or two of their own. I like even Fame's solo joint was hot when it dropped too, man. He did one with did a nice collaboration with Sean Price.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope.
Yeah.
A couple other ones that he's doing. But yeah, man.
If you think about, if you listen to how he spoke about like their collaborative process and how they are as a team, it makes sense what he said about the stuff with Rockefeller.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you know, if this is your man that you the glow up, you know, you and him got millions together, you know, and y'all fell out, you know, what's to stop me and you from falling out?
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of time. Peace to the God. I see Knowledge Born out there.
Knowledge Born is gonna be joining us on Friday too. Look out for the promo.
Can't wait for that episode, man. Big shout out to Knowledge Born.
Price of Fame. Yeah, that was the name of the album, boy.
Yeah.
Price of Fame. That album was. It's a lot of slept on music, man. And I'm glad he mentioned that he still listens to all his 90 peers. Because like I say it all the time. I still listen to all of them, man. And I'm looking now that he put the bug out there too. It means Gangstar put out a new joint. So I'm looking for that.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said Gangstar, or he said Premier just put out a new joint.
Yeah.
I tell you what, y'all, that 90s music and anything prior to that, it's like fine wine. Like every year, you always like, even like the catalogs that I go through as far as the music from the 90s and especially the 80s, it's like, man, it's like every time you hear a song, you hear something new. You hear something new. Maybe a ad lib that you ain't catch. Just something, man. And that era right there from the 80s to 90s, that was gladiator school. I would say everything from the 80s to like 1997, that was gladiator school. I would say 1997 because that's when, of course, when Big died. And when Big died that year to 2000 and beyond, that's when, you know, the South started, you know, making it rain. But
let me say, sorry to cut you off. Let me say this though about the like I'm conflicted because that to me was our era. So of course there's gonna be some level of bias, you know. And as far as like when you think about like all the great MCs that we had during that era, it's easy for us, I think, to kind of go back and be like, yo, this was the golden era. But then I think about like if I was to have that same conversation with my parents, you know, my mom may say, well, you know, think about Motown. You miss Motown at the height of its success, you know. So to me, there's like a connection and a nostalgia. Like when you hear those 90 records, that they're always gonna live on for us because we're gonna always think about we hear a song, what we was doing, you know, we was playing ball, whether you was in the street, whatever it was, when you was in high school, college, whatever it is. So I look at that era and I'm like, to me, that's the best era. but I don't know if it's because of the connection that I have to it, because that's the era that I grew up in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just talking about as far as hip hop and rap's concerned. When it comes to R&B, of course, the 70s and 80s.
Even with rap, because, you know, like, look, we grew up in that era, so of course we're gonna have strong connection and strong ties to it. Like, I'm wondering if I grew up, if I was born 10 years later, would I have the same feeling? I guess is what I'm saying. You know,
I think
your attention span would be a lot less if you grew up later.
You think so?
I think so.
No, bro. It's a lot of old souls out here, yo.
Allow me to explain, because the music we listen to coming from our parents are kind of derivatives off of their music, from the sampling and kind of rendering of what they used to play, and we just chopped it up and made it into our own thing. But those music, all of those music came at moments where it was so nostalgic. You know where it was when you heard BDP. You know where you was when you heard The Bridge. You know where you was when you heard Sucker MCs. You know where it was when you first heard the Black Album. The artists that we grew up watching always played a part in our nostalgia. We'd have a moment, a party we was at, a girl we was dating around this time.
Yep.
That music don't come off the same way now.
But that's because now it's not.
That's your point.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? It's not our era. So that's why if we had a conversation with somebody who belonged to this era, or even if we spoke to our parents who probably appreciated the music from the 60s and 70s, you know, like if we would say Mary J. Blige was Aretha Franklin or whatever it was, they would, yo, what? Mary J. Blige, they may like Mary J. Blige, but at the same time, because of the moves, the moments, and the nostalgia and everything that they had when they were growing up, that's the connection that they have. So I'm not denying that the 90s to me was a golden era, because it was a swarm of talent. Yeah, Wu-Tang, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, you know, all these different people came through, you know. But 10 years from now, we have this conversation, have it with our children. They'll probably be like, well, you remember this person came out, that person came out, and this and that and that. It doesn't have any credibility, or we don't have a connection to it, because
it don't rub us the right way, son.
It doesn't resonate with us.
It doesn't resonate at all, man.
It doesn't resonate with us.
It takes nothing away from them, but it don't resonate.
See, but that's why I was about to say before, is that it's all about what you tune in, what you tap into. Like, you got a lot of people that's like 20 years old and younger. They like that vintage stuff that we grew up on. They not listening to like Lil Nas and all this other stuff right now. But
very few. That's a very few.
That's what I have to say. That's a real
man. Yo, well, maybe it's a US thing, because I know over there, like in like Across Seas is crazy.
Oh, remember,
like over in Japan, over in London, and all that. These dudes like the hip hop.
That's a whole different argument.
Remember, across overseas are hip hop historians. They're true hip hop. They're all about the culture. In the United States, to a degree, we have fast food and we have rap. Rap is fast food for hip hop.
Yeah, right? Because United States hip hop is corporate, just like how you guys said, it's corporate.
Overseas, if you think about overseas, people are still buying vinyl. They buying merch. Remember we spoke to Master Ace? Master Ace was like, I could go overseas and my shows sell out. Like, those are hip hop historians. Those are people who really care about the art, the craft, the breakdancing, graffiti, b-boy, all that shit. Over here, it's a smaller market. So you find a few
about that quick. So.
You find a few kids that are connected, and they, you know, they're hip hop historians and they really like it and they appreciate it. But that's far and few between. Like, here is what it is. It's like whatever's popping now. I would say, you know, and this is, there's no scientific poll, but I would say they have more of a connection to what's going on today than what went on in the 90s or the 80s. And that's just, you know, that's just because this is their time and this is the music of their time and their era.
I would agree, bro.
I'll tell you what, but like y'all mentioned earlier, man, about that, the streams being a penny per stream, that's a huge difference, because they was paying like 1/1000th of whatever of a penny, you know, back, you know, several weeks ago.
Let's table that conversation, okay? That's something that on Friday that we gonna talk about with the viewers. We'll talk about like the thoughts around the stream stuff. So I guess, Billy Danze, we're probably not gonna be able to get him back, but again, I want to say, like, I thought that was a dope interview. I'm a big M.O.P fan.
Super.
Never gonna see them perform "Stick to Your Guns" because that's one of my favorites. "Stick to Your Guns," "Blue Steel," and the Jay-Z, the joint they got on Blueprint 2, the remix for "You Don't Know."
Oh,
that's
that
like
was heavy. That was heavy right there.
Yeah,
we're
too.
talking about Four Alarm Blaze, because that shit right there.
Oh yeah, with Teflon. Dun,
Too,
with the Rocky beat. Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yo. So with that being said, we wrap it up for tonight. Thank you to Billy Danze for joining us. Thank you for everybody who tuned in for the interview. We appreciate everybody. We'll
This is my shit right here.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna play this on the way out.
No, don't, Rob, don't.
Oh, that's right.
No, please.
We're gonna get flagged.
Please don't. On that note, everybody have a good evening. Peace, everybody.
Peace, y'all. Peace.
Peace.